He did his best. He did his very best. And his best wasn't good enough. Usyk's a great champion. He's the best in the world for a reason.
You know your son very well. He's only 27. Yes, it's back to the drawing board. What do you believe is necessary now for him to come back and, can be a two-time champion?
Well, that's up to him. We'll have a chat and see what he wants to do.
Do you know yet what you'd like him to do?
Not really. He's a grown man now. He make his own mind up. He did his best.
And those are the words of Stan Dubois, the father of Daniel Dubois, and those were his words. He did his best. And, he didn't look like he was too tore up about it. But again, I don't know the temperament of Stan Dubois. You have to ask guys like Spencer Farron, which he should be on the show later this week. We will get together and talk about this unification, this undisputed knockout win for Oleksandr Usyk. And that will be that. But back to Stan Dubois. Stan, to me, based on that interview, shout out to Seconds Out with Radio Raheem and company. It seems like to me that he's pretty much letting Daniel off the hook with the control mechanism. As you heard him say at the end, like, well, hey, that's up to Daniel. He's a grown man now. And the funny thing is, you never heard him say that before. You've heard him say, like, things that put him in control, that things he said that made you know that he was in charge. But now he's more like, nah, he's this grown man. He does whatever he wants to do. It's up to him. And, that just goes to show you also when the amount of money that Daniel made, he went and he climbed to the mountaintop and had a fight and was knocked from the top, from the king, the man that was there, Oleksandr Usyk. And, I think Stan knows that the amount of money that Daniel may get, because it's lifetime changing money that he's just received. Yes, he was knocked out, but like I've been telling you guys, there's no guarantee that Daniel Dubois will be back. Now, do I want him back? Sure, because I want him still to challenge Parker, still to challenge, I get Caballel, Zhang, Bakali. There's fights for him to fight, but the money does things to you, especially with that type of money. For example, look at Andy Ruiz. Andy Ruiz received nothing near that. You know what I mean? But it was more than he's ever got in his career. And guess what? That changed his life forever. That took a screeching halt to his motivation when it came to boxing. He did not want to do much more than he's doing now. And that's not much. Maybe training or whatever. But as far as negotiating and getting a fight made and stuff like that, he hasn't fought since last year, and it's already July. I know he had an injury with his hand. I know that. But those type of things happen when you give certain fighters certain salaries in certain blessings. Okay. When those breakthroughs happen, you'll see the true nature of that person. So if Daniel Dubois chooses to fight, that means he's just an all-around lover of fighting. If you don't see him again, that means he's got what he needed and he doesn't need to fight anymore, and he wants to do whatever else makes him happy. Because I do feel that Stan Dubois put all of his sons in there for a reason, to see which one made it, and Daniel made it, and Caroline made it. Those siblings have made it. But what happens when they do make it? What happens then? And then that's the big question mark for Daniel Dubois. Does he come back or whatnot? But no, I think everyone is as good as they're going to be. He didn't look necessarily happy because, they're on their way out and getting to their, respectful habitats and rooms or wherever. But no, I don't think that Stan had any type of ill will. But You guys tell me what you think of Stan Dubois' comments towards Danny Dubois. He did his best. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch.